Hi, so my name's Larry Luxembourg. I, I thru-hiked the Appalachian Trail in 1980. I didn't have a trail name back then, so people now sometimes call me Pack Rat. You know, I collected things, and that's how I started the Appalachian Trail Museum. But in 1980, I did a northbound thru-hike on the AT. I had no experience. My first day of backpacking was doing the approach trail to Springer Mountain, and I did the AT in about 5 months. And it turned out to be a wonderful experience for me. I knew nothing when I started, but I learned as I went along, made a lot of great friends, and had some great experiences along the way. I met moonshiners, I met corporate executives, people who worked seasonally canning fish, all sorts of interesting people along the way. There was one person who was quoting Shakespeare as he walked along the trail, saw a lot of wild animals and things like that. And the AT became a big part of my life. That through hike was so meaningful to me. And uh, so I had kind of primitive equipment as I started the trail. Way too heavy a pack. Pack had a hip belt that wasn't supportive, and I adjusted my equipment some, learned to live with some, lightened my pack, got rid of my tent. My tent at that time weighed 6.5 pounds, so compared to the equipment today, it was all ridiculous. But I learned that what was important on a through hike was what's in your heart, not the equipment you carried, not what you knew. On the AT, you can learn from all the other backpackers around, and you do learn from each other. It's like a university for backpacking. You learn trails around the world, and you learn techniques. And the people, what I really got out of the trail was that moving community of through hikers. I just loved being around all those other through hikers, and everybody was so supportive. The people along the trail, the hikers. Uh, and it was an amazing and life-altering experience for me. One of the favorite parts of the trail for me, I did a lot of it alone, or a day here, a day here, there with other hikers. But even though I was in peak through hiker season, from about the 900-mile mark in Harper's Ferry up into New England, I was largely alone. Didn't have many other through hikers that I came across. And it got to the point where when I was in Vermont, and there would be a caretaker at some of the lodges or some of the shelters. Other through hikers would avoid those places because they didn't want to pay the fees, and I would seek those out just so I would have some company. But when I got to Hanover, I met some other hikers, and the four other people I met there stuck with me for the rest of the trail, and that became probably the most pleasurable part of the whole trip for me. I knew the trip was winding down, and I had this good company ranging in ages from 17 to 63, and we just got along so well as a group, and it just became really, really pleasurable. And the Maine was so beautiful, and probably in my mind, for me, the favorite part of that through hike. And I had a wonderful day to summit Katahdin, a class 1 day, really beautiful, and that really culminated my journey. And the advice I had for other people, I started out the trail, I knew nothing, I'd never met another through hiker, uh, had done some reading, but didn't really know enough to start a through hike. So I always encourage people to talk to some other experienced through hikers before they begin their journey. Do some trial hikes, so they get a feel for their equipment, they get a feel for being in the outdoors on their own, and learn some of the techniques and tricks to short circuit some of the issues I had in my shakedown experiences on the trail. But however you do it, for the right person, it's a really wonderful experience.